Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play The Sims 4 Once Upon a Horror Story Part 8. And in the last part, we played with Carly, and she got her a man, and... No, we played... Carly? I think it was Carly. Yeah, it was Carly. I was looking at my notes, and it said Veronica, but then I realized to switch those two around. But yeah, we played with Carly last time, and she got herself a man, go her. And this time, it is Aiden, the person who I feel like Serenity wronged the second most, because let's be honest, it was Zoey. Serenity wronged Zoey the most, but Zoey, her episode had to be in her episode had to be where it was for the story to make more sense. Anyways, but this is Aiden Wyatt. He is her cousin, and Aiden wants to be a best-selling author. He is a writer's assistant, which is level 1. He has these skills, but in reality, only writing is the important one. These are his relationships with his family, Jesse and Robin. Those are his parents. Robin is a bookworm, a snob, and family-oriented, and she's the wine moms, and Jesse is family-oriented, active, and ambitious, and he is a politician. And this is his sister, Julie. She's gloomy and an insider. He is friends with Scott Bettencourt, who is his cousin, and Zoey Rhodes, who everybody just seemed to like. He's acquaintances with Carly and Kane. And he's friends with Veronica, and am I missing anybody? I don't think so. Oh, yes I am. And he doesn't like Serenity. And, hold on. Before I explain why Aiden doesn't like Serenity, we're gonna take a tour around the house. Because I don't have much planned for this part, and we gotta go for time. But they live on this little part of the island, far away from the Bettencourt mansion. Because Robin and Jesse, after Serenity died, they're a really cute couple. They're adorable. But after Serenity died, they felt that she was most likely that she was murdered. They knew she was murdered. They knew that one of the teenagers probably did in fact do it, and they didn't want their children, Aiden, they didn't know if they could. They wanted to influence them to maybe not turn out like Serenity, and they thought that maybe money and greed and the power of being superior to everybody else had turned Serenity Bettencourt into the kind of monster that she was. And so they moved to this house, and it is by no means shabby. It's just kind of like sparsely furnished, mostly because I didn't want to furnish it. But they still have nice things, but they don't flaunt their wealth as much as the Bettencourts. And they aren't as wealthy as the Bettencourts. They don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. They have this. And, yeah, I don't know what to put here, so I just put a fountain. It bothers me so much. But then, this is the first floor, and then you go, wait, actually, and they have a pool, you know, basic. And then you go upstairs, and then you have Julie's room, Aiden's room, and then Robin and Jesse's room, and yeah, it's really cute. The kids don't get their private bathroom because, you know, that's kind of, Serenity got a little spoiled, and they thought if they didn't spoil their kids too much, maybe they wouldn't turn out like Serenity. But in the wake of Serenity's death, Julie looked up to Serenity very much. She looked up to her so much, and she is kind of now depressed. Julie has kind of fallen into a depression because she admired Serenity so much. Julie used to be like an A student, but now she's a C student. She doesn't do her homework. She doesn't really have any friends that are like in school. She doesn't really have any friends. Like she really was close with Serenity. She was close with Scott. She's friends with Zoey. Like, she doesn't really have any friends from school. And she doesn't really have any skills, and she's just she's gloomy, she's depressed. I use gloomy a lot when I'm trying to convey depression, and she's depressed. Julie is depressed, and she has been for quite a while, and she's just really sad. Like, Serenity was one of her cousin, her family, she was her cousin, her family, like, her friend, like, and now she's dead, because Serenity was never really that awful to Julie, and if she was, Julie kind of just didn't let it roll off her back. And Julie was very close to Serenity, and now Serenity's dead, and Julie doesn't have any friends. And I didn't do pretty much any of their other outfits that weren't going to be seen. But this is Julie. She is sad because she does miss socializing, but she's sad. She's just sad. And I feel really bad because I did not ever plan, like, at the start of this series when I was plotting to kill Serenity and, like, thinking about how it would go and how their lives would be affected from that death. I didn't really look past to, like, the other people out of the teenagers. I didn't really look past it, but then I was like, Julie, she was friends with Serenity, so she'd probably be really upset. And then I got the idea to give her a depression, and it was really sad, but I guess that's what death does to people. I've never experienced the death of someone very close to me, and I feel very fortunate enough to not experience, like, a death so young, like Julie did, and I'm just trying to kind of guess what emotion she'd be feeling, so she's depressed. And then we have Aiden over here. Aiden has a fish named Lana. It's a gummy fish, because I've never used that. And then this is his room. It's really basic, lots of books. Aiden is a writer. He likes to write. He was the journalism person in school. He liked Lana Del Rey, 5 Seconds of Summer. He probably doesn't live here anymore. He probably lives in, like, an apartment in the city, but this is probably his room from high school, and he probably brought his fish with him from the city. And, yeah, but this is Aiden, and Aiden, like, first, we have to talk about his reason for wanting Serenity dead. Aiden is gay. He had a man in high school, wasn't important, blah, blah, blah. Such is life. The man will probably be in the prom episode. Don't quote me on that. It depends, honestly, if the prom episode goes how I want it to go. Which we all know that never happens in Sims. But hopefully Aiden's man, who I have not made yet, will be there. And so, Aiden's gay. And in the first episode of Once Upon a Horror Story, he had just started at the school. His family had just moved to town. He had just started the school, but he had a man, you know. Or, wait, no. He got a man afterwards. Oh my god. I am legitimately butchering this story. Anyway, Aiden was new. He had probably been at school for like 2-3 months. And Aiden was, I guess, kind of closeted to the school. It's not like he was hiding it. It's just like, it's like he didn't tell everybody who he met. He just told his friends and all that, you know? Wasn't like blurting his sexuality in everybody's face, you know? And so Serenity decided to be a bitch. Because Aiden had a thing for, I think it was the quarterback. Somebody on the football team who was best friends with Zach Green, her man. And so Serenity got the bright idea. She was awful. And don't ever do this to your friends, your cousin. Don't do this to anybody. This is awful. Serenity got the bright idea one night at a football game to just announce it. That Aiden was, first of all, gay. And that he had a hard-on for the football player, the quarterback or whatever, who was also in the closet, and that's who Aiden ended up dating. So technically it all worked out okay, but it was very awful for Aiden in that moment. And they didn't start dating until after the spring break trip. They were kind of like talking during the prom thing. So yeah, they were talking during prom, and then they didn't get together until after the spring break trip when Serenity was already dead. And, you know, people do things that are mean. Aiden is mean. Aiden holds a grudge. Aiden is probably too ambitious for his own good. He probably could have done it. I honestly think Aiden could have done it in that situation, I think honestly all of them could have done it, except maybe Kane. I don't think Kane or Scott could have done it. That's the only two I don't think could have done it, because Kane doesn't have it in him to murder anybody, and I don't think Scott would murder his sister even if it was for Zoey Rhodes. Anyways, but, like, for Carly or Zoey or Helena, even Veronica or Aiden, I think any one of them could have seen Serenity alone that night in the hot tub and remembered every awful thing she had done to them, because she had it crushed in their minds that she was so much better than them and that they were not even worth the dirt beneath her shoe. Like, that's how she made them feel. And I feel like, honestly, any of them, I don't think Scott would have, I think legitimately every one of them except Scott could have. I don't think Kane could have, though. I just don't feel like Kane could have. But anyways, back to Aiden. Aiden wants to now write a book. He's practicing his writing. He wants to write a book about that fateful whatever. He wants to write a book. And Aiden doesn't know how to end it, because the book is basically a murder mystery about, you guessed it, Serenity Bettencourt, and it's about the whole thing of, like, the prom. Basically, it's basically Once Upon a Horror Story, but it's, like, not this part that's actually, he's kind of writing the series. He's kind of writing Once Upon a Horror Story. And he doesn't have an ending. So, we're honestly going to have him write a book, and we're going to have him stop. So, we're going to have him write, would it be nonfiction? It has to be real to be nonfiction. So, yes, nonfiction. And we're going to call it Once Upon a Horror Story. So, Once Upon a Horror Story. And that's probably the real reason he came back, was to get an ending for the book. 18s go camping. No, 18s at a lakeside cabin one spring break. Spring break. 18s arrive at a lakeside cabin one spring break. 7 leave alive. Who done it? This probably isn't the most eloquent of descriptions, but 18s arrive at a lakeside cabin one spring break. 7 leave alive. Who done it? Who murdered Serenity Bettencourt? Okay. 18s arrive at a lakeside cabin one spring break. 7 leave alive. Who murdered Serenity Bettencourt? No, I want it to be a question mark. Who murdered Serenity Bettencourt? Once Upon a Horror Story. So we're just going to have him write for a bit. And Robin got the wellness skill. And I like to think that she's probably, like, higher in this. So we're going to give her, like, 5. You know, she's in the Wine Moms. Oh, the Wine Moms is Gia, Alexandra, and Robin. I guess Gia's hair got deleted. And what is the private club? Because I saw this before. Antonio, Nicholas, and Jesse. Okay. That's creepy. I'm not going to lie. Very creepy. I totally thought Jesse was a police officer before, but I guess he wasn't. Maybe he was. Hold on. Who's the police officer? Because I'm pretty sure someone was a police officer because I said something about corruption or something. Is it you? Are you the police officer? Somebody was a police officer, and if it was Jesse, I'm sorry that I changed it. I don't remember. I think it might have been Colby Olsen, but I'm not sure. Something about, there was corrupt police. I remember that. I was talking about corrupt police at one point. But Aiden is very, because he honestly does not care who murdered Serenity. He would probably give them a medal because Serenity was awful and made his and his friend's life a living hell because he's friends with Zoey. He knows what she put Zoey through. he might not be friends with Carly and Elena and all them, but, like, he knows what she put them through. Like, that was kind of the thing that bonded them, is, like, they all suffered at the hands of Serenity Bettencourt, even though they weren't even really friends, but I feel like that honestly did help them build to friends. Elena's your friend. Doesn't show up here. Let me just, like, set it to 35 so maybe it will show up. If they're actually friends. Okay, so they're friends now. It said friends before, so. So he's friends with Helena, Zoey, and Scott. And I honestly think if he had to be Team Zoey or Team Helena, I think he'd be Team Zoey. Because he's 48 with her and 35 with her. So I feel like he'd be on Team Zoey. But then I feel like we're all on Team Zoey. Because I'm on Team Zoey. Team Zoey probably won't prevail because we have 2 episodes left. And none of them are really all about the romance. Actually, if we're going to talk about it, next episode, we go back to the first save file for 2014, and we have prom for the first half of the episode, and then the second half of the episode is the spring break trip, and we're not going to see Serenity die, necessarily, but we're going to see who did it. Oh, no, we won't. That's the beginning of the spring break episode, so, my bad. So, in the spring break episode, you'll see kind of, like, the setup of, like, how that night happened. Because they were only there for, like, a day. Well, we're going to say, we're only going to capture the day. We're going to pretend they've been there for, like, a week. But, it's going to be senior prom, and then the first part of the spring break episode. So, that'll be episode 9. And then episode 10 will be the end of the spring break episode. We will see who killed Serenity, the spring break trip will finish, and then, actually, for the last part of the episode, we're going to go back to the lake house, and we're going to try to see if these dumbasses can figure out who murdered Serenity Bettencourt, and if some of them already know who did it. Because I feel like, honestly, some of them already know. Like, whoever did it probably had a guilty conscience at one point, or, like, had someone help them to cover it up, and I just feel like more than one person knows who did it. Because the murderer obviously knows who did it, and probably someone very close to the murderer. Just saying. Could be anybody. What if they all know? What if legitimately they all know, except Aiden? I don't think Zoey knows. Well, if Zoey's not the killer, I don't think she knows. And I don't know if Aiden's the killer. I feel like Aiden could be the killer. No. Oh, that's kind of cute. I want to go to the romance festival, but not on my own. Will you be my wing? That's kind of cute. We're going to go with... Screw it. We're going to go with Aiden. We're going to go with Aiden. Because we're going to pretend she invited, Julie and Aiden out because she's friends with both of them. And Zoey needs to get back on the bandwagon. Why is every episode about Zoey? Every episode somehow ends up being about Zoey. Veronica's episode had Zoey in it. Aiden's episode has Zoey in it. Scott's episode has Zoey in it. Zoey's episode has Zoey in it. Like, half of the episodes we've had have had Zoey in them. I think Kane's episode had Zoey in it. Like, Zoey... I tried not to have a main character. But I honestly feel like Zoey's the main character. Which is probably why she's on my banner. And not because she's my favorite, but because the main characters of my current series are on my banner right now. Because if you didn't see that banner, I worked probably like an hour on that. Half an hour maybe. And it has Madison, Zoey, and Genesis. And so, the main characters from all my series. And we're going to have to change that at one point, because Once Upon a Horror Story will end, and Pets will begin, and it'll be really sad. Okay, so who's all here? Rebecca's here. Rebecca's pregnant, by the way. I don't know if I told you that. Gia Pereno's here, Eloise Perez, Antonio Perez. All the main characters are here, except, like, the actual mains. Who's this? I'm just trying to see who it all is. Alice Fitzkent, Landgrab. Who's here? Who's this? Vivian Lewis. I thought that was Veronica at first, and I don't know why. He's zooming. Anybody here? No, but we're just basically kind of gonna control Aiden. And Aiden and Zoey are gonna get to know each other. Friendly. They're gonna get to know each other. You're gonna express your admiration for Zoey because you gotta give her props. And then they're gonna go watch not Serenity. Oh my god, what is her name? Julie. They're gonna go watch Julie be sad. I can never drink this. Like, is this a glitch? Like, I can never drink this. We're gonna go ask. Ask our romantic destiny. And then Aiden's gonna go ask. Are they talking about murder? I bet they're talking about murder. They're probably not talking about murder. But he learned that Zoey is self-assured. I could have told you that Zoey was self-assured. She had to be to get through Serenity. Especially because I feel like Serenity probably gave Zoey the worst time, and then, like, Carly and Aiden, maybe. And Veronica, too, because Veronica was in love with her. Aww, I'm really glad they're friends. Like, I'm really glad that, like, some of them have honestly developed genuine friendships with each other, and it, like, evolved past the shallowness that they all used to kind of be in the high school era. You even sound sad, Julie. What is he gonna say? Oh, that's kind of cute, except you killed your husband, Eloise. On prom night. Yeah, Eloise killed her ex-husband on prom night. So really gonna be a damper for Carly's prom. Okay, what did he say? Though temptation abounds, you must wait many moons for your destined love. That's so sad. Zoe's so sad. Not Zoey, oh my god. Julie is so sad. And then Aiden's gonna go ask. Ask about your romantic destiny. Because I do want to see what he'll say. Will Aiden find another man? Hi, Gia. Gia's really nice. I kind of feel bad for her. She's doing her best. Go ask the romance guru. Oh, you're gonna... The romance guru is gonna come to you. I'd rather you go to the romance guru, but such is life. I do want to see what he would say about Zoey, so I'm gonna add her to the household. Just for a second. We won't play with her, but I just want to see what he'll say about her destiny. Your romantic destiny is bleak. Well, damn. That sucks. Probably because... I don't know. Maybe it's not the time for him. He needs to focus on his career now. Romantic doom. It's filled with challenges and hardships. Everybody's life is. We gotta deal with our lives. Did you ask? I want to see what he said. Like, I'm honestly, this is just out of curiosity. I want to see what he says about Zoe's romantic destiny. Your... My faves! Your romantic destiny is bleak. Lovely. God, they couldn't even say... Aww. Poor Zoey. I'm honestly more upset about Zoe's because I think she was still holding out hope for Scott. Like, I honestly think Zoey was still holding out hope for Scott. Dang. That sucks. Aw, I guess he won't divorce Helena magically in the last part. I was honestly contemplating if he was going to divorce Helena in the last part. I was honestly contemplating it. Is that sad? I was honestly contemplating the happy ending for Zoey, but I guess not. So, if you were hoping that Zoey and Scott were going to get a happy ending, I was debating it until now. I'm so sad. Like, I know this is Aiden's episode, but we've done Aiden's stuff. We got him to start writing the book, and we explained his reasoning. We delved into Julie's depression. Oh my god, no, they're all sad. But, like, this is the saddest thing. Like, this is, like, so sad. Zoey is always so sad. At the funeral, she was sad. During Scott's wedding, she looked like somebody had just killed her. Like, she looked like somebody had just stomped on her heart. And now here she is, looking like somebody had just stomped on her heart. She doesn't deserve this. Like, she does not deserve all this sadness. But, like, she'll bounce back. Zoey will bounce back. I'm gonna take a picture, though, because she looks sad. Picture. Oh, this is sad, though. Like, honestly, that was legitimately, that was going to be the end of this season. That was going to be the end of this season. Zoey, he was going to divorce Helena. You know, after they figured out, blah, blah, blah. If Zoey wasn't going to, if I didn't, I know. Nobody wants to be spoiled on who the murderer is, but it wasn't Zoey. Okay, I know, I needed to say that out loud. Did anybody honestly expect me to make Zoey a murderer? Like, honestly, she had too much to lose. And even if she was gonna get away with it. Anyways, so, Zoey turns out not to be the murderer. I think we all knew that Zoey wasn't the murderer. I guess somebody could have thought Zoey was the murderer, though. I'm so sorry if I spoiled that. But you were gonna find out anyway that Zoey wasn't the murderer. That is my timer, though, but I still have to explain what my plans were. So, before this, I had planned for Scott to divorce Helena, whether or not one of them was the killer. It didn't matter. He was going to divorce Helena. He was going to realize he loved Zoey, and he always would love Zoey. And they were going to start dating, and that was going to be the end of Once Upon a Horror Story, even if he might have killed Serenity and he might end up behind bars. I don't even know if I want the killer to get caught. Because, like, let's be honest, Serenity deserved it, and they're all decent people. But that was going to be the end. They were going to get together. It was going to be happy. I was going to be happy. My ship was going to come true. But, guess not. So I guess Zoey could still be the murderer, because I have to change my plans now. So I guess, for those of you thinking Zoey was the murderer, I guess she still could be now. I guess they could all be the murderer now. I was like, when I was planning the last episode on what was going to happen, I'm like, Zoey's going to get her happy ending. She ain't going to be no murderer. She's going to get with Scott. I don't care if he is the murderer. Like, I still didn't know who the murderer was at that point, so I'm like, I don't care if Scott's the murderer. I don't care if Helena's the murderer. I don't care. He's going to divorce Helena, and he's going to get with Zoey. But now that's not happening, so I guess Zoey is now still in the running for the Spring Break killer. The Spring Break no. I was going to say the Spring Break slasher, but nobody got slashed. The Spring Break killer. So I guess Zoey's still in the running. Damn. Such is life. I guess while I'm on my trip Thursday, I'll have to, because I'm going on, you're seeing this on Monday, whenever. You're seeing this whenever I decide to upload it, which is probably going to be a few hours after I record it. And this Thursday, the 31st, after, I'm going to put up Not So Berry Challenge, and then I'm going to leave on my trip with my friends and my family. And we're going to go to the beach, and I guess while I'm on the beach, I'm going to have to explain, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do, and I'm going to tell you exactly what she says in the end. I'm going to have to explain this all to my friend, and then I'm going to have to be like, so who do you think did it? And then I'll go with whoever she says, because I don't even know at this point, and I don't want to decide. So, bye. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.